Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today I want to have another TU13 focused discussion, and that is what new exotics I would like to see this update bring us. Now, in case you were unaware, I actually did a similar video several months back, but for what new gear sets I would want to see in the new update, so you can just think of this as a super delayed part 2. I'll link that first video in the upper corner of the screen if you care to check it out. Still waiting for you to add in final measure, massive, just saying. And I'll add in that, just in case anyone is skeptical, it has been pseudo-confirmed by the devs that we will indeed be getting new gear sets and exotics in this update, likely alongside a new season, so this is certainly a reasonable topic to be discussing, but it's all just for fun anyway. Let me know down below what your top exotic requests would be. Without further ado though, let's dive in. So I've got 4 exotics I want to pitch to you all that I think would be awesome to see in the upcoming update. 2 weapons and 2 gear pieces, and additionally I've included 2 exotics from Division 1 in here. So far the only things we've seen return from Div 1 besides specific gun types is a gear set, that being Striker, but there's nothing stopping them from breaking the mold now and giving us some of our old faves. So let's start with the weapons, shall we? Beginning with an idea that I've had for quite a while that I think people would absolutely love, and if Massive wants to regain a little bit of player faith, this would be a pretty good place to start. That is a fully automatic lightweight M4 exotic, because despite how insignificant it may seem on the surface, I know personally I've talked to several people who to this day are legitimately pissed off that they switched the lightweight and the Lavoa to rifles in the Division 2, especially after they advertised they'd be ARs in the original reveal trailer. I may or may not be in that category. I'm kidding. I don't think I'm as upset by the decision as some are or have been, but I'd be lying if I said I don't miss my good old M4. And so I think the exotic category would be the perfect place to reintroduce that, because it would be a big ask to switch the entire gun to a different class, you know, the high-end version, but just one exotic to satisfy that crowd, I feel like that'd be pretty perfect. They wouldn't even need to design a new model, just take the lightweight that's already in Div 2, just give it a shiny new paint job, and bam. As for the talent, I've thought about this a little bit. I think they should keep it pretty simple, and you know what would be really cool? Give it a Division 1 talent, or even 2 of them. Can you imagine how hype people would be? Like, oh my god, this is perfect. Call the gun the Old Timer. It's a lightweight M4 assault rifle, and its talents are responsive and deadly. Bam. Massive, when you use this idea, I will take royalty fees. Alright, well that's the first one that I would have to be, it would have to be on the top of my wish list. That would be so sick if they ever did something like that. But now let's talk about a reprised Division 1 exotic gun that I think would also be awesome to see in Division 2, that being the Big Alejandro. Now primarily, I chose this because I really enjoyed the Big Al's gun archetype. The closest thing I know to a real-life counterpart is the MG82. That's what it's called in Warzone anyway, but just that fast fire rate and huge suppression potential was a ton of fun in Division 1, and I think it'd be a great addition to the LMG roster in Div 2. Come to think of it, has there even been a new LMG since the Bullet King? Like high-end or exotic? I legitimately don't think there has been in any of the seasons. Unless I'm wrong, correct me down below. So we're definitely overdue for a new one, and I think the Big Al would be the perfect candidate. As for the talent, I think some sort of like frenzy, the frenzy talent in Div 2 on steroids could be pretty fun, where it tracks kills or shots landed on the side of the gun, on the usual AR display, and then at a certain point it lights up, and once you reload, you just get a period of pure insanity. Extra RPM, damage, maybe explosive rounds, could be a ton of fun. So yeah, the Big Al would be my pick for a returning Division 1 exotic gun. Alright, moving on to gear, let's go in reverse order and start with the Division 1 exotic gear item I would bring back. I'm sure everyone can guess what I'm going to say. The Bliss holster. I'm kidding. Obviously the Ninja Bike backpack. I would love to see the Barrett's chest return as well, but I think anyone who played Division 1 knows how great the Ninja Bike backpack was. If you didn't play Division 1, basically when equipped, it just +1 to any gear set you were wearing. So if you had Ninja Bike plus 3 of one gear set and 2 of another, had a full 4-piece of that one you had 3 of, and then a 3-piece bonus of the other. And honestly, I would see no need to change that talent. I still stand by the restrictions they put on gear sets in Division 2 in order to keep them from dominating the meta, namely only getting the single attribute roll, but I think the Ninja Bike bag would be a great way to increase their viability just by a little bit, and I know personally I would love to run a 4 Hunter's Fury and 3 Strikers combo, so absolutely the Ninja Bike bag would be at the top of my list for Division 1 exotic gear items to make a return in Division 2. Alright, now last up, a totally new exotic gear item for the Division 2. I'm gonna have to go with the glove, just because that's the last slot where we only have one exotic choice, those being the BTSU gloves, and what I think might be neat is to see something in the spirit, I'm not saying copy it directly, but in the spirit of the Skull MC gloves from the Division 1, which if you don't know, it boosted your damage by a ton if you used a build that didn't involve gear set bonuses, which was a bigger deal back then because they were much more viable. But anyway, I think it'd be cool to see an exotic piece that enhanced your brand bonuses in some way. And I think a cool way to do that would be to where you get the equivalent of one main stat roll, so 15% weapon damage, 170,000 armor, or one skill tier depending on what profile of a brand you use all 3 pieces of. For example, Providence is a damage brand, hence why they always roll with weapon damage. So you use 3 gloves, or sorry, you use the exotic gloves and 3 Providence, you get an added 15% weapon damage onto your your current setup. Or you use 3 Gila as well as those gloves, 170,000 extra armor. You get the idea. And I think this would be another really inventive way to encourage more build diversity. Oftentimes there's not huge incentive to run 3 pieces of a brand. It's really just whatever, individual bonuses you need on that track. And similar to the Ninja Bike bag, I just think this would give people more reason to try using more new combinations out. So yeah, guys, I think overall that's my mini wish list for new exotics in the upcoming TU13 or unnamed update for the Division 2. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts on this topic. Do you like any of my proposals? Think that any of the new ones I suggested sound fun, and the Div 1s I suggested would be worthy of returning? Maybe you have your own idea for what should be introduced or brought back. Let me hear all of it down below. Believe me when I say, guys, we're getting into the final stretch of having to wait for this new update. We're officially in the final season rerun, so hopefully within a few weeks' time we can begin to hear more definitive plans for what exotics they're bringing to the game, as well as every other surprise they may have planned. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.